The living organisms and their surroundings. As we all know, there is life everywhere in whole world. Every corner has one or more living creatures. There is a wide variety of living organisms in different places. We find pines, deodar, and oaks among plants, goats, and yak among animals at mountains. While we see cactus and camels at desert. On the other hand, we find coconut trees and crabs and snails at seashore. If we look around our home, there are so many creatures living with us other than our family. There are spiders in the corners of roofs, cockroaches in kitchen and toilets, lizards on the wall, flies and mosquitoes all around, sparrows, crow, and squirrels in our garden. Habitat and adaptations. Surrounding where organisms live is known as habitat. Various plants and animals share a habitat. Habitat provides food, air, water, shelter, and some other basic needs to plants and animals. Habitat has two components, biotic and abiotic. Biotic components include plants and animals, while abiotic components include soil, air, water, sunlight, and heat. Habitats are mainly of two types, terrestrial and aquatic. Terrestrial habitat is that in which living organisms live on land. It is again of 5 types depending on the region of Earth: forest, grassland, desert, coastal, and mountain habitat. Aquatic habitat is that in which living organisms live in water. It is also of 5 types: ponds, swamps, lakes, rivers, and ocean. Adaptation is a change in structure, function, or behavior by which a species or individual improves its chance of survival in a specific environment. Adaptation is a long-term process. Abiotic factors of an area are changed in 1,000 years. If living organisms are not able to adapt themselves accordingly, then they die out. Example: camels have long legs, which keep their body away from the heat of sand. Fish have gills, which help them to use oxygen dissolved in water. There are some changes in living organisms which occur in short time period to adjust themselves to sudden change in surroundings. These changes are known as acclimatization. Example: we join gymnasium and in starting we have problem in doing exercise and we have to breathe very fast in doing so. But in few days our body is adapted to these conditions. Similarly, when we go to any hill station, we have problem in breathing. But in due course of time, we are adjusted to the surroundings. A journey through different habitats. Desert. In desert, area soil is sandy. It is dry, it is very hot during daytime and very cold during night. Plants of desert area do not have normal leaves, which are modified into spines. Stem of desert plants is covered by thick cuticle. These adaptations are meant to reduce the loss of water. Animals of desert adapt themselves by reducing use and loss of water. To avoid excess heat, they have long legs, like in camel. They make burrow and live inside it, like hare, snakes, and lizard. They become nocturnal, that is, they come out in night only. Let us discuss some qualities of camel. Camel can store large amount of water, that is, about 3 buckets. Have long legs which keep the main body away from the heat of soil. Passes out very little amount of urine. And camel dung is dry. A journey through different habitats. Mountain regions. Mountain habitats have very cold and windy climate. In winters, snowfall is observed. Plants of mountain habitat are cone-shaped, thus called conifers. Tip of plant is pointed and branches are sloping and leaves are needle-like, so that if there is rainfall or snowfall, then snow does not get stuck to the branches. Animals of mountain habitat have thick fur or long hairs all over their body, so as to keep them warm in such cold climate. Like polar bear and snow leopard have thick fur to protect them from cold. Yak have long hairs. Goats have strong hooves to climb mountain. A journey through different habitats. Grasslands. Grasslands have hot summers and cold winter. Rainfall is uncertain and drought is common feature of grassland. Soil is rich in organic material, so it is very much suitable for agriculture. Plants of grasslands grow from their base, have long thin leaves, have extensive root system, so that they are not damaged completely by grazing animals or fires. Large animals have skin color adapted to their surroundings, so that they can hide in search of prey. Eyes are placed in front, so that they can see their prey clearly. They have strong claws in forelimb which can be withdrawn. Their canines are sharp. On the other hand, small animals like deer, rabbit have large ears to hear sound of their predators and big eyes on the sides of their heads so that they can see in all directions. They have light body and strong hooves so that they can run fast to escape from their predators. Some aquatic habitat. In aquatic habitats, animals have streamlined body to move in water. They have gills to take in oxygen dissolved in water. However, Dolphins and whales do not have gills. They breathe through nostrils or blowholes, which are present on the upper part of the body. Some aquatic plants are free-floating, while some of them are submerged in water. Ponds and lakes. Some aquatic plants are free-floating, while some of them are submerged in water. Roots are reduced and hold the plants in their place. Stems of aquatic plants are usually long and hollow. In floating plants, stem reaches the surface. Leaves and flowers float on the surface of water. Leaves are flat and ribbon-shaped, so that flow of water cannot damage them. While in submerged plants, whole plant is inside the water. Leaves are completely divided, so that flow of water cannot damage them. Frogs are amphibians. That is, they can live both in water and on land. They are found mostly in ponds. They have strong back legs which help them in leaping on the ground, and these legs have webbed foot to help them to swim in water. Characteristics of living beings. As we have discussed earlier, that planet Earth is covered by living things. They are mainly divided into two: plants and animals. Living beings eat. All living things eat. Some of them prepare food on their own, like green plants, blue-green algae, while others are dependent on plants and other animals for their food. Living beings grow. What is living? That surely grows up from a small child to an adult one. Living beings respire. All living things respire. Respiration is the process in which oxygen taken inside is used by the body of living organisms. Breathing is a part of respiration process. Living beings excrete. All living organisms excrete. Plants also excrete some poisonous materials in form of secretions. Living beings respond to stimuli. All living things respond to stimuli. Animals respond to smell of food, touch, heat, fire, etc. While plants respond to sunlight and touch. Living beings move. All living things move by their internal force, while non-living things move by the force applied to them externally. Living beings reproduce. Giving birth to young ones of their own kind is known as reproduction. All living things reproduce. Living beings die. Whatever is alive have to die one day. It is nature's law. When lifespan of an organism completes, it dies. Do all living beings need food? Plants make their own food by the process of photosynthesis with help of chlorophyll, carbon dioxide, sunlight, and water. We all know that living things grow. They require energy to grow. All the living things get this energy from food they eat. Animals eat plants. These animals are called herbivores. Some animals eat other animals. They are called carnivores. Some animals eat plant and animals both. Do all living beings show growth? All the living things grow in size as they grow older. Human beings give birth to small child which grow up to adult human beings. Growth in animals. Similarly, animals also give birth to small animals which grow up to adult animals. Growth in birds. Birds lay eggs, it hatches and chicken comes out of it. Chicken then grows up to an adult bird. Growth in amphibians. Frogs, amphibians also lay eggs. Tadpoles come out of it, which then grow up to an adult frog. Growth in plants. Plants also grow in size from sapling to big tree. Do all living beings respire? Respiration is the process in which oxygen taken inside is used by the body of living organisms. Different types of animals have different organs for breathing. Mammals and birds have lungs. Fishes have gills. Arthropods like spiders have book lungs. Cockroaches, caterpillars, and other insects have spiracles. Sponges take oxygen dissolved in water. Breathing is a part of respiration process. We all take in oxygen and give out carbon dioxide. This is called breathing. When we breathe in, we take oxygen inside our body, while when we breathe out, air moves outside from our body. We throw out carbon dioxide from our body. While plants take in carbon dioxide and give out oxygen. Do all living things move? Part 1. We know that some non-living things like cycle, car, scooter, bike, and aeroplane move. But all these non-living things move by external force. All the living organisms move by internal force. No external force is required to move them. Elephants are large, so they move slowly in groups from one place to another. Aquatic animals move by swimming. Some animals can move very fast, like rabbit, deer, leopard, cheetah, etc. Do all living beings move? Part 2. Plants do not move from one place to another, but they have some movement at their place, like closing and opening of flowers, etc. Some insectivorous plants also show movement when they have to catch insects by their pitcher. Example, pitcher plant. Some plants show movement when their leaves are touched. Example, touch me not. Almost all plants show movement towards sunlight. Do all living beings respond to stimuli? A stimulus is any change, may be internal or external, which leads to a response. Plants respond to sunlight and move towards it. Animals respond to smell of food. When we touch a hot pan, our hand suddenly reflects back. This is our response to heat. Similarly, we respond to thorn, needle, ice, etc. The living beings reproduce their own kind. Giving birth to young ones of their own kind is known as reproduction. Birds lay eggs, and when these eggs hatch, chicks come out of it, which grows up into adult bird. Similarly, mammals give birth to young ones. Plants mainly reproduce by seeds. Some plants also reproduce by other plant parts like root, stem, leaves, etc.